Hello guys, this is Utsav and I have with me Aditya from Bangalore. Both of us are RCB fans, and here we are at the last league game of the season, RCB versus LSG. Brother, what are your thoughts about this?
Well, a must win for RCB for sure if they have to. I mean, they're already qualified. So this is for the top two. A must win is what I would think because if we win this, and there's an interesting point for today. If this is one of the least chances that I'm talking about, the 1% or 0.5%, if we beat LSG by either 40 runs or by 4 overs margin, we will get we'll seal the first spot. Why first
Yeah,
spot is important according to me is in case there is a scenario where the qualifier one gets washed out, then the first team will directly enter the finals and
yes,
the team at the second spot will have to play the qualifier too. So must win, yes. I mean, probably most of us will be hoping for that normal win, but people who know the scenario would want, at least to an extent, uh, to seal the first spot so that it becomes easier. Uh, I mean, it's just 3 games from here. If you can think
yep,
this as the eliminator, if you want, and
yeah, absolutely.
play play your game out and just seal that spot, and you're halfway through the tournament. I
Yep,
mean,
we
halfway
have a
through the
few people
knockouts.
here already. So one thing that has happened is हमने पिछले 20 दिन से एक तो खेला ही नहीं था मैच, ठीक है, 20 दिन के ब्रेक के बाद आए थे. And we unfortunately could not end on the winning side against Sunrisers.
Yeah,
Had we won that match, अभी तक ये playoff race खत्म हो चुकी होती. We would have finished at the top of the table. And the only thing we would be thinking about कि आज बड़े margin से मत हारना कि second हो जाओ. नहीं तो you would have finished first anyways.
yeah.
So unfortunately, that chase was going really well for us, and we bottled it. And how 8-9 विकेटें गिरा दी बिल्कुल आखिर के 2-3 ओवर में, could not even get to 200 runs. Ended up with a heavy loss
40
of
runs.
40.
Yeah,
Yeah, so वो सब तो ठीक है, हार जीत चलती रहती है. But the bigger loss that has happened to us is the injury that has happened to Tim David.
yeah,
Uh, I so one thing that I'll be very honest about the RCB management this time around is that जो न्यूज लीक्स होते थे उसको बहुत अच्छे से मैनेज किया है कि नो न्यूज सोर्स कैन क्लियरली टेल यू व्हाट इज एक्चुअली हैपनिंग. क्या इज फिल सॉल्ट एक्चुअली लीविंग आफ्टर प्लेऑफ्स? एक दिन अचानक से इतना ज्यादा हुआ बना उस बात का. सेकेंड डे इट ऑल वेंट अंडर द मड कि कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा. ऐसा ही इज स्टेइंग टिल द एंड. टिम डेविड की इंजरी के बारे में देयर इज नो अपडेट व्हाटसोएवर. जैसा हमने देखा आफ्टर द इंजरी, ऐसा लगा कि मतलब ही वॉकड एंड वेंट आउट, ऐसा नहीं कि 2-3 लोगों का कंधा लगा उसको लेके जाने के लिए. That did not happen. Apart from that, he also came out to bat. वो थोड़ा बैट स्विंग कर रहा था before he came out to bat ग्राउंड में. एंड देन ही केम आउट टू बैट, एंड उस टाइम पे हमने देखा कि उसके थाइज में पूरा बैंडेज लगाया हुआ है. तो दैट इज द वर्स्ट थिंग दैट आई हैव सीन. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, एवरीथिंग वाज एनकरेजिंग साइंस. Everything other than that gave me signs that the injury might not be that big. But
Yeah.
considering जितना ज्यादा बैंडेज था उसके पैर में, maybe it was precautionary, मे बी ही इज आउट ऑफ द सीजन. बट मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि अगर थोड़ा सा भी डाउट होता कि इंजरी इज बिग इनफ, तो शायद हम भेजते नहीं उसको. बिकॉज लूजिंग अ मैच अगेंस्ट एसआरएच इज फाइन, बट लूजिंग टिम डेविड और एग्रीवेटिंग हिज इंजरी माइट बी अ ह्यूज ब्लो फॉर आरसीबी.
I don't think so. It will be a big injury that, um, like at least like if as far as I know, I don't think that they would let him play in that condition. If it was that big of an injury, they would have probably asked him to get retired hurt. Um, and at the point when even Tim David came for the match during that slot, I don't think so. There would be much of a chance for RCB taking it away from SRH.
या
Even they were like what 18 balls, around 50 runs was required. So maybe it was just. I'm hoping that it is just for 1 or 2 games. I don't mind if he misses today's game, to be
या
very honest. But we need him in the playoffs, like uh, very badly in the playoffs because we saw Romario couldn't read the slower ones. Uh, but if I have to rate one of these two finishers higher, I would definitely go for Tim David. So we need him no matter what. I think there is nobody who can fill in that particular proper finisher role as of now because he used to always strike at what 200 plus 170, 190, 200 plus. So let's see.
प्रोफेसर गेमिंग इज has given us playing 11. Phil Salt, Virat Kohli to open, Tim Seifert at 3, followed by Swastik, Jitesh, Romario, Krunal, Bhuvneshwar, Yashdal, Hazelwood, Suyash. So he has made 2 changes. टिम डेविड के जगह पे टिम सेफर्ड को
Tim
लाया है
Seffett,
और स्वस्तिक
Mayank
चिकार आए हैं इन
Agarwal.
प्लेस ऑफ मयंक अग्रवाल.
Yeah.
आई नेसेसरीली डू नॉट माइंड दिस. ओनली थिंग इज, वेट अ सेकंड. अच्छा, इम्पैक्ट प्लेयर में रजत पाटीदार दिया है, तो मतलब इफ रजत कम्स एट 4, देन स्वस्तिक गोज टू 5, जितेश 6. I don't necessarily disagree to this, but I don't know about this, man. Do we give Mayank Agarwal another chance? What do you
I
think about it?
the way I couldn't see the intent though.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, in Mang's game, but considering his, uh, I don't know, the way the dressing room liked the vibe of Mang or the way they showed confidence in him. Maybe this would be if they would go ahead and give Mayank a chance. I'm 100% sure. I don't know if he can fill in the perfect shoes of what Padikkal was doing. Uh, but at this point, if they think that they need to give Mayank Agarwal one more chance, then today's match would be the last match. If he's going to prove by scoring at least 30 or 15 balls, then
yeah,
please let him continue. Otherwise, please bring in another change because I honestly wouldn't mind Swapnil Singh also, Swastik Chikar also because you you get something out of them,
yeah.
like something.
The thing is that Mayank Agarwal, the point at which he came in the last match, the match was in our pocket.
Yeah,
The momentum was with us. Phil Salt was going berserk. Virat Kohli had just played a fantastic innings. Virat Kohli was playing out of his skin, by the way. The kind of shots he
yeah.
was playing, very, very attacking. When he left, the game was, just made for us. Phil Salt was batting the way he was. Mayank Agarwal comes in, scores 11 of 10 balls, and then gets out. And then it follows by Phil Salt trying to be over aggressive and throws away his wicket,
Yeah,
which was followed by Jitesh Sharma playing aggressive. जिसके टाइम पे रजत पाटीदार got a few balls to settle in, but Rajat Patidar also could not score runs, and even he got out, followed by an entire car crash of a collapse. ठीक है,
yeah,
तो I think even though you should not give the blame of a loss to any single player, but the blame, like a big part of the loss in the last game belonged to Mayank Agarwal as well as Rajat and the bowling unit. एक और चीज जो है, that is, without Josh Hazelwood, thankfully Josh Hazelwood is here, but
yeah,
without Josh Hazelwood, our bowling is just the typical RCB bowling we have seen over the years.
yeah.
Surya Sharma, there are times when Surya Sharma bowls like he's Shane Warne, and there are times when he bowls like Shival Kaushik. If you remember Shival Kaushik, anyone. So the thing is, the inconsistency that goes around Surya Sharma.
Yes.
Now the next three games which we are playing, all three of
It's
them are must win for us. If
yeah,
we lose today, then the next game is. If we lose today, our chances of doing the unthinkable
is very little.
goes down to 2%. I'll give 2%, not more than that, not even 2%. Considering we have to eliminate Mumbai Indians to
Yeah, in
move
the
ahead.
playoffs. Yeah,
So I think Josh Hazelwood's entry is like it has happened at the perfect time. And एक second. हाँ रुक जाओ यार, कुछ लोगों को निकालना पड़ेगा. हाँ. Yep. What would I say? You can continue. I got
yeah.
distracted.
Not an issue. So, yes, Hazelwood. I mean, we were discussing about Hazelwood, and we remember having this conversation of if there is any person who can replace Hazelwood, and you said no, there's
Yeah.
nobody else who can replace Hazelwood, which made so much sense in in the last match. Like we know why Hazelwood is very important. If Hazelwood was there in last match, then probably we wouldn't have had Dishan Kishan scoring
Yep.
so much. He would have taken his wicket. Um, that was the only wicket I think that got us to 236. There's nobody else who helped the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
SRH team get.
Klassen played very well, but even he got out early. Tim David played really well. He got out. Abhishek Sharma started really well. Even he got out. Apart from that, there was nobody else.
It's head, not Tim David.
Yeah, yeah, head, Abhishek and Klassen.
Yeah, Klassen. So yeah, see why we believe in Hazelwood is because the crucial wicket, and of course he's an Aussie, which is a default setting, but he picks out the key players for the wickets, and those key wickets are very much important for that particular game. And everybody knows it. We need somebody to take up that role. I don't know why Bhuvi is not able to take that role,
Yeah,
but he's a fantastic bowler. But probably this season is a little sideways uh, in terms of giving away runs, not in terms of taking wickets or anything. Uh, he has performed. It's not like he hasn't, but he has leaked a lot of runs too.
yeah.
Uh, but
Bhuvi has been like we have seen two of our ace Indian bowlers, Yash Dayal and Bhuvneshwar Kumar. They
yeah,
like they have played completely opposite of what we could think of before the season. Before the season, we would have spoken Yash Dayal and Bhuvneshwar would be great new ball bowlers. Death over
yeah,
में मुश्किल हो जाएगी दोनों को. But the opposite is happening. Bhuvneshwar and Yash
yes,
Dayal, both of them have been fantastic in the death overs, but
death
both of them
overs.
have been utter ridiculous with the new ball, which I do not
No,
associate with both of them.
yeah, yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So, comment says Tim David is injured. Who do you think we can get in place of him? In the playing 11, I think the best choice is having Tim Seifert in there. Best choice is that. और नीचे अगर आपको बैटिंग लंबी करनी है, then maybe you can go with a Manoj Bhandage or a Swapnil Singh. That is a punt that you have to take. Um, Liam Livingston is also an option in the playing 11, but I do not see a lot of merit in that. We have tried him, could not get much of it. And if you're
We
talking about players who we can get as a replacement, then Michael Bracewell is definitely someone up there that we can get similar kind of a role. नीचे आके batting करेगा, like can give you a little bit of spin as well. Again, Matthew Ford, as I told before, a decent option, probably will get sold in the auction itself in the next season. Apart from that, there are options like inactive players, like I think Ben Cutting is also somewhere around. People have given him offers to join IPL teams, but he has not agreed. As he said, Mark Chapman is also an option, pretty decent option, but ज़्यादा track record नहीं है. And I'm not sure of his finishing capabilities. So yeah, these are the few names that I have taken. But अभी अगर इस stage पर जाकर आपको एक player लेना है, then I don't think you will get the best of replacements. I don't think the replacement will be good enough to be in the playing 11 itself. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I feel the options have. See, the only thing that RCB has always struggled is to find a good finisher for this team. And Tim David
Oh, one more thing.
solved.
One more. I absolutely agree to this one. I also had a conversation with Aditya about this after the game. The
Yeah,
last game reminded me of the 2016 final. And that is the reason after the game got over, the expectations inside me just got killed. बिल्कुल उम्मीदें खत्म हो गई मेरी इस टीम से कि यार अब तो लाइक दे आर जस्ट इससे पहले before the last game, I had this perception of this team in my head that this team is different than any other RCB team, which it might be. But the way it collapsed in the last match, it gave me deja vu of something that I don't want to go back
remember.
to. Yeah. You can continue with that.
Yeah, so I think Tim David solved that particular problem to a very big extent. Like 90% of it was solved by Tim David alone. Now, finding a cut to cut replacement for Tim David right now feels like very uncomfortable thing to do.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Please get him fine. Let him get well as soon as possible. But at least for this game, I don't want actually. I don't want Lamb Livingston to be in the squad. I would rather give
yeah,
Tim Seifert one more
yeah.
chance. It's been very long since I've seen Tim play. I guess has he played recently?
Liam Livingston, you're talking about?
No, no, Tim Seifert.
Tim Seifert played in the Pakistan tour of New Zealand, which happened in I think early 2025. I don't think he has played after that.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I don't remember what was his form or I
hmm.
don't know. But fine, Agar, if he's coming in post power play to capitalize it, if he's able to play the kind of innings that Josh Inglis played yesterday, I I would back him.
We have
I would
one more
even back him.
option to replace Tim David with, and he is in a good form. But I don't know how many Zimbabwe players will you put in there. The name is Sikandar Raza. A little bit of IPL experience in there, can be a finisher. He was also the man of the match in the PSL final that happened a couple of days back. A very reliable bowler as well, can give you bowling options too. Yeah, Sikandar Raza might be in the thoughts of I think RCB management if Tim David injury is serious.
But don't you find anybody apart from players of these Asian countries? Because I don't think so. A lot of them will be able to compete against the top bowlers here. Like at least as far as I know, they probably won't be able to handle it. The only reason I'm saying this is because we have seen Tewatia being one season wonder,
Yeah.
Rinku Singh being
No,
one season
I would
wonder.
disagree to that. Like I agree to your point, but Tewatia he's not a one season wonder. He's like a couple of games a season that he brings every other season. Like
Yeah,
I think he has won you games in 2020 as well, then 2022 with Gujarat as well, and this season also he won you a game. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree to your point, but yeah, Tewatia is like someone who scores run in couple of like a couple of games in a couple of seasons. But I guess that is
Yeah.
good enough if he assures 4 points. Uh,
Yeah. For the team.
विराट कोहली का फैन हूँ, इमोशनल हूँ, उसको हताश निराश मायूस नहीं देख सकता। आईपीएल खत्म होने पर हर बार ऐसा कोई होता है, टॉप 2 में फिनिश करना है। हाँ भाई, टॉप 2 में तो वी हैव टू फिनिश, टॉप 2 में तो फिनिश करना ही पड़ेगा। एंड आप क्या विराट कोहली फैन हो, हम सब यहाँ पे विराट कोहली फैंस ही हैं। एंड हमको, हम में से किसी को भी विराट कोहली को हताश देखना पसंद नहीं है। होपफुली इस साल कुछ अलग हो। चलो लेट्स टेक इट वन गेम एट अ टाइम। आज अगर जीत गए तो टॉप 2 तो कंफर्म हो जाएगा, एटलीस्ट प्लेऑफ में जाकर एक और चांस तो मिल ही जाएगा। 2020 से लेके 2025 को भी पकड़ ही लेता हूँ मैं। 2020 से 2025 तक हम एक सीजन छोड़ के हर बार क्वालिफाई किए हैं, बट वी हैव नेवर इवन कम क्लोज टू विनिंग द ट्रॉफी। इसका
Yeah.
कारण ही ये रहा है कि हम हमेशा नंबर 3 या नंबर 4 पे क्वालिफाई करते हैं। वी हैव टू फिनिश टॉप 2 टू गेट अ सॉलिड चांस एट द कप, ताकि अगर हम अगला ये मैच जीत के उसके बाद वाला मैच खराब भी खेल जाते हैं, उसके बाद भी हम बाहर नहीं होंगे, जैसा हमारे साथ यूजुअली एलिमिनेटर में होता है और एक सीजन क्वालिफाई 2 में भी हुआ है। आरसीबी नंबर 2 एंड पॉइंट्स टेबल में विनर पैटर्न है 1-2 1-2। देखो पैटर्न मत ढूंढो, जस्ट थिंक ऑफ द बेस्ट केस सिनेरियो व्हिच कैन हैपन फॉर यू। देख लेना लिविंगस्टन ही आज खेलेगा, मैं लिख के देता हूँ दिग्वेश राठी की तरह।
Huh?
दिग्वेश राठी की तरह। खैर ओके, नहीं लियम लिविंगस्टन खेल सकता है, कोई इसमें वो नहीं है, बिकॉज लियम लिविंगस्टन वाज द फर्स्ट चॉइस ऑफ आरसीबी
RCB.
मैनेजमेंट एनीवे।
From the marquee
रोमारियो
players. Yes.
से ऊपर हमने उसको प्रेफर किया था। दैट डिड नॉट टर्न आउट, बट चलो कोई बात नहीं।
And
इवन
I
या
also have a query regarding the last match. I would have wanted Romario to come up the order, and I would send Jitesh a little lower.
यू वांट रोमारियो ओवर जितेश?
Yes, with the
वाई सो?
situation that was given in the previous match. The
आई
more the
हैव
more
अ
balls
डिफरेंट
that you
ओपिनियन
give,
ऑफ दैट।
no, what I felt was the more balls you give, if you would have sent, see, when we had uh, Phil Salt out, we were still in the game,
या
and there was Rajat. And if we would have had somebody like Romario come in there, build a good partnership, and then start hitting, then probably even if Rajat got out, we would have Jitesh to come in and he plays his 15 ball 30 runs or 15 ball 40 or 20 ball 40 to 50, 25 ball 40 to 50 runs. That would still be a good thing. And
या दैट वुड
Krunal
हैव।
could have also batted well.
Yeah,
Or you could
we'll
have
come to
sent
Krunal's
Krunal
batting,
itself.
by the way. We'll come to Krunal's batting. I have to talk about that. Pratham Yadav is saying Hazelwood and Tim is not playing today. I would like to know what is the source behind it. क्योंकि बहुत से मीम पेजेस और बहुत से सो कॉल्ड न्यूज चैनल्स बहुत सी खबरें चलाते हैं, एंड 99% ऑफ दैट इज रबिश। तो आई वुड लाइक टू नो फ्रॉम अ गुड सोर्स की ईएसपीएन ने बोला हो, तब तो आई वुड अग्री। कमिंग बैक टू द पॉइंट, विल रोमारियो शेपर्ड प्लेइंग ओवर जितेश शर्मा, माय ओपिनियन वाज डिफरेंट बिकॉज मैं चाहता हूँ रोमारियो जितनी कम बॉलें खेल सके उतना बेहतर है। Like if Romario comes in a situation like 6 balls 19 to get, I'll back him that he can chase it down. But if the number
Yes.
of balls increase, I'll feel like yeah, maybe it is a bit too early. इसीलिए I think the last time when he got the last game itself, I wanted Tim David to bat ahead of Romario, but Tim
Yeah,
David was
same.
injured, and that is why Romario
Injured.
came out. Yeah, and then after Romario, I think Krunal came out instead of Tim David because he was injured.
No, but the reason I told this was I wouldn't do this when, like, there are two extreme scenarios. One scenario is what CSK gave us. We just had to finish the game. That was
Yeah,
the only scenario.
yeah,
That scenario, I would still back Romario with that position, where the one that you told 6 ball 19 runs, 6 ball 20 runs, 12 ball 30 runs, 12 ball 25 runs. I would still back Romario at that point of time. But
yeah,
this, as soon as the first off was done, we were in fact 2 runs ahead of the half par score at the end of 10 overs.
Yes,
I
yes.
was sitting with my sister and watching the match. 236 was the target, and we were 100 and 18 or 20, I guess, at the end of
For the
10
loss of one
overs
wicket, I think.
for the loss
Yeah,
of one wicket. Now,
yeah.
if you see, we were well within the under 12 run rate per over, and we had what, nine batsmen left. Now, when you know one of your the middle order batsman is out, at that point of time, you need one proper finisher who can give you that runs, and that is why I backed Jitesh to come a little lower the order. Or you could have done the same thing but sent Krunal up the order, because we have seen what Krunal can do against
Yeah,
what he did against RR. So at least Krunal could have gone up the order. We don't want Krunal as a finisher
yeah,
when there's a partnership that has to be built, and especially when there is 12, almost around 12 runs per over required. The only thing is Virat was out. The only difference is Virat was there in the RR match. Uh, but still, I wouldn't give that points, because I feel even Krunal is a credible player, and Rajat could have also played. And if this would have happened, then we would have had Romario for the 18 ball 40
yep,
runs mark, or 18 ball 30 runs mark, right?
yes.
So this is what the scenarios I'm talking about. If you're not getting player, then please send him to build a partnership. That's not an issue, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that is only when situation demands, right? We can't do it every time.
Yeah, yeah,
So please don't send him at a place where there is a slow inning required, uh, or the game is going well within hands. But please do send him up or lower the order, because he has to do the role. At least send Krunal up the order so that he can give you some runs. He can't play under pressure. He can't bat under
yep.
pressure
Yes,
when there
yes.
is. He can't finish it. 18 ball 40 runs. He needs some time. He needs to settle in, and then he can give you a
Yeah,
fantastic knock. 73, that knock. So that would be my suggestion.
yeah. And one good thing about this is like this can be a good thing considering this has happened in a game that was not so important. अगर यही
Yeah,
आज हो जाता जो पिछले मैच में हुआ or happens after this, then we are in trouble. So it is
yeah,
good. Like there are two ways we can go from here. One is that we learn and don't let an opportunity like an a thing like this to brew again, a situation like this. Or number two is we become Rajasthan Royals and keep doing the same thing and losing every single game
mm,
from here. There are two ways to go about it, and let's see which way we go from here. Another thing is if Mayank and Rajat play well, then only we can win. That is true. Considering Mayank and Rajat hold very pivotal positions in the team, one bats at three, one bats at four.
yeah,
We have spoken about Mayank, but let's talk about Rajat Patidar. Runs have stopped to come. It's
yeah,
been, I think, 5, 6 games since Rajat has played. Okay, I'll give him that he was injured. Even in the last match, I think he was not 100% fit, considering he did not come out to field.
yeah,
Rajat Patidar, the batsman we definitely missed in the last game. But Rajat Patidar, the captain, how much of that was a missing? Considering Jitesh Sharma, I thought kind of was a bit clueless with his bowling rotations. And I
yes,
think had Rajat Patidar been in there, the target would have been 220 at least.
yeah. I feel the same. Not 220. I would have even bagged a little more, because I think he has played a lot of domestic, and Ishan Kishan has also played domestic for some period of time, because the past 2 years we were completely packed with what, T20 World Cup and Champions Trophy, where we didn't see Kishan play much. So we know the belt that Ishan Kishan has played in the same belt as Patidar played. Uh, so he knew, probably he would have known that what are the deliveries that might get Ishan out. And as I said, yes, Rajat Patidar was missing, but also we did miss Hazelwood to a lot extent, especially when Kishan was going all out. Um, so yeah, and
Yep.
he has only played
Let's
two games,
yeah,
against Mumbai
yeah,
and against us. So
yep. So let's take a census from the chat. who do you want to see playing in the next match, Mayank Agarwal or Swastik Chikara? Keep that in mind that Mayank Agarwal definitely is way out of runs. Probably his career is on the fag end. Probably this might be the last few games that we might see Mayank Agarwal bat. And the other thing is that Swastik Chikara, yes, he is a very exciting talent, but again, the sample size that we have seen is also very less. Talking about Mayank Agarwal, let me add one more thing is that there are players like Ayush Matre, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, Riyan Sharia who play week in, week out, and they have been producing results, performing every single game right from the very beginning. And their age is what, 15, 16, 17. One is 14. If you are a person who is 30 plus, who has played for India, who has represented India in I think two of the three formats, who has played IPL for a decade, over a decade, who has captained an IPL team, the last thing I want from you is coming out and panicking. You should be the first one who should keep hold of their nerves. अगर आज मेरे टीम में अजिंक्य रहाणे होता, back in the 2020 2021 Ajinkya Rahane was not doing very well, I would be way more confident considering that this guy will not panic. He might bat slow, he might be the anchor, he might not be batting at 150 strike rate, but he will not panic. But the panic is what we saw in the last game with Mayank Agarwal.
Yeah.
What happened? I think he got a couple of. He tried to hit it straight. He tried a cover drive, which went straight to the covers fielder. Could not find the boundary, and then he went for I don't know what, some unorthodox kind of a shot. Agar wo lag jata, then he would have gotten 6 runs from it. But it was a swing and a miss. And the next ball again he swung and he got out, which was followed by Phil Salt's wicket as well. So yes, देयर इज अ कमेंट. चाहता चाहता तो हूँ स्वास्थ्य खेले, बट अभी इतने प्रेशर गेम उससे खिलाए, ये तो सेम मनोज भांडे के जैसे होगा.
Manoj Bandage was a very dumb situation to send
Yeah,
when your team is collapsing and you want him to cross 49 runs. That was not a debut match that a
yeah, yeah.
debutant would dream of.
So
That
one thing which
was
is possible is that we play Tim Seifert at 3, and in place of Tim David, we bring in either Manoj Bhandage or Swapnil
or
Singh.
Swastik. No, you can also bring Swastik,
Swastik
I
would be
feel.
too lower down the order, I guess. But if you have to put
No,
Swastik, he has to bat at least top 4, I think.
no, let him bat at 5. Send Jitesh at
No,
6 and
5 is
Romario
for
at
Jitesh.
7.
So if Swastik is coming at 5, Jitesh is going 6, Krunal is going
Yes,
7, Romario
yes.
going
No, no,
8.
no. Yeah, that is your ideal position for Romario is at 7 or 8. Your
Yeah,
ideal position for David was either 5 or 6.
yeah. No, 6, 7,
So,
yeah.
yeah, okay, 6, 7. But no, 6. Yeah,
Yeah, 6,
because
considering Jitesh was coming at 5.
Jitesh was, yes.
Rajat
Yeah.
was at 4.
So,
Hmm.
so I feel you can play Swastik, or even
Yeah.
if you want
So
Swastik to come
let
at
us
4, you
end it
send him
with
at 4.
what is your what do you think will be your playing 11 today? Considering that Tim David is not fit. Because if Tim David is fit, then I think the only option you have is either going, you're just bringing Hazelwood in, or removing Mayank for Swastik at 3. That should be good
No,
enough.
I'll give Mayank this game because I don't
Okay,
want
okay.
him to play. I don't want him to play a nail biter or a whatever situation that is in the playoff. You give this match, this is the last league match that you would want. Manage it with or without Mayank. This is your last chance. I will back Mayank for this game, but I would also want to give Tim Seifert a chance. I don't know where he'll fit in. That's the only problem that I'm facing. So
Yeah,
if Mayank is playing, then I'll have to bring in Livingston. I don't have any other choice.
yeah,
Or I'll have to go with 3 overseas, which I don't think would be a right choice.
yeah. My playing 11 for today, for literally 2 hours from now, I think 3 hours. Yeah, 2 hours from now. Phil Salt, Virat to open. Yeah, Tim Seifert I would have at 3 if Tim David is not available again. Tim Seifert at 3, Rajat at 4, Jitesh at 5, Krunal at 6, Romario 7, 8 I'll have Swapnil Singh, 9, 10, 11, 12 would be my 4 bowlers, Suyash, Bhuvaneshwar, Yash and Hazelwood. This will be my playing 12. Yeah, that is it. I think RCB should give more chances to Swastik rather than Mayank. Any closing thoughts, Aditya?
I, yeah, I would go with that comment, but the only reason I'm backing Mank is because he's a senior player, and I hope he performs today's game, and we'll at least see a 175 plus strike rate innings, no matter what is the runs he's scoring. He just have to
Yeah,
score more than 20 runs at the strike rate of given 200. If he's scoring just more than 20, if he's scoring more
I
than
don't even
30
mind
or
20 runs,
40,
by the way. You come in, you show us the intent that you are here to score runs with a
yeah,
fast rate. That is it for me.
yeah. And
Yeah.
even if you're scoring, like, why I go with a 220 plus with a 200 strike rate, or 30 or 40 with a 175 plus strike rate, is because you'll be adding a lot of runs without knowing, and that is what Padikkal also did. Uh,
Hmm.
so it's fine. He didn't play all the games. He also had bad games, but he
Yeah.
gave that that 30-40 runs that was needed to the team. If you're able to add that for the team, I don't mind what your game is. So, but the only reason I'm wanting him today is because this would be either his best game or his last game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
next game, I would either want Swapnil Singh only to be back, because he can give you a decent 3 over bowling as well if something is going sideways. So
Yes.
that those are my closing thoughts.
Yeah, and my closing thought would be even Devdutt started with a 10 of 10. If you remember against the game in Kolkata, difference was that we had already won that match and quick runs were not required. In this match, quick runs were required and he failed to do it. And another
Yeah.
difference was that that was the start of the season and this is the business end of the season. But yes, I agree to this. Today, if Mayank is playing, it is either his best game or his last game. I think
Yeah.
this is where I would also like to part ways. If you have all the viewers, kindly like the stream, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one, probably on the nights of on the afternoon of qualifier one. And if things go sideways, then afternoon of eliminator. Okay, thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.